On today's Viral Solutions podcast, we're talking about market positioning. And this is part 2, titled How to Win the Race and Attract More Customers. Now, a question would be, do you want your brand, not your competition's, to be at the forefront of your customers' minds? Well, duh, who doesn't? If you aren't segmenting, targeting, and positioning yourself, you'll never be able to convince your target to buy from you, especially if your competitors have already developed a solid positioning strategy and infiltrated your market. You have to position yourself correctly to outperform your competition and win over who will be your customer, stay your customer. Yep, this is part 2 of a 2-part series by Viral Solutions on market positioning. Let's go back to part 1 for a minute, though. That's where we defined what market positioning is and how to create a strategy that clearly defines your positioning statement, the ground you stand on. There, we also discussed how to showcase your company to the market so that you can outperform your competition. In part 2, we're going to further define the nuances of effective positioning and discuss how you can use your brand identity as your greatest competitive advantage. Now, we realize this may be a complex topic for some. Positioning strategy can take a long time to develop. Additionally, the process can become null and void if, after doing all this legwork, you discover that you need a different target from those who segmented. And you got to repeat the process all over again. A lot of people have had that problem, but at least there's a process. That's why this marketing strategy series. Here is where we simplify the concepts so that you can apply them to your business to strengthen your foundation so you can remain a formidable competitor for the long term. Having said that, if you need any assistance with any part of this process to ensure you're executing it correctly, we're here. We're happy to help. You'll find us at viralsolutions.net or 888-816-1222, and it's what we do the best. Decades of experience doing all this stuff. Help companies like yours dominate your industries. It's not easy to do. But doing this is kind of like a high for us. And we don't ever come down from it because we play to win. Plain and simple. All right. Got that out of the way. Let's dive in. Let's talk about perceptual mapping. That's the key to positioning precision. Yeah, the key to positioning precision. Now, how do you know if you're positioning your company correctly? Well, one way to ensure you are hitting the target when you start positioning to your market is to create a perceptual map. A perceptual map is simply a visual presentation of how you want to be perceived by your market. How can perceptual maps benefit you? Well, they help you better understand your customers and how they perceive you. More closely define your competition and you can easily compare your strengths and weaknesses. Identify where to position your company in the market based upon price, quality, things you offer, things you don't. Identify the gaps in your market so you can gain competitive advantage. Helps you see what your customers think of your competition. Track market changes over time so you can change your segments and regain lost competitive advantage. Uncover partnership or merging opportunities with other businesses. Your product may be selling, but is your marketing aligned with your positioning goals? A perceptual map can uncover those inconsistencies. So let's first start talking about a two-dimensional perceptual map. In a two-dimensional perceptual map, it's a 2x2 grid. Just draw a simple X and Y axis and focus on your brand's attributes, where they fit in your market. Placing your brand's attributes within this map can help you figure out how you want to be perceived and where your competitors lie in the grid as well. Now, when you make this grid, each axis represents one attribute. Now, on our website at viralsolutions.net, you'll find a pictorial of this. Now, the one we have on here on the website, we got it from Survey Gizmo's Resources tab and a blog about perceptual mapping. And what they mapped out was one where one of the grids was nutritional value, low on the left, high on the right. The vertical axis was taste, poor taste on the bottom, great taste on the top. And they took 3 brands and tried to fit them in those quadrants. Brand 1 had high nutritional value and great taste. Brand 2, moderate taste, low value nutritionally. Brand 3, high nutritional value, really bad taste. Now you can imagine where pricing is on all of those and all that type of thing. But that's a great way to map out your business and your competitors. Where is it that you want to position yourself? Mapping out your competition can help you identify market gaps and where or how you want to position yourself. Now, we can already hear you saying, I have more than 2 brand attributes. How do I measure those? We get it. We agree. But the reality is that perceptual maps oversimplify the process. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that your customers will likely consider more than 2 attributes when making a purchase. So how do you resolve this problem? Well, you do so by adding more dimensions, and you have more than a 2-dimensional perceptual map. Now, in a multi-dimensional perceptual map, the map can theoretically be separated into quadrants, and no axis actually exists. The diagram works off of proximity instead of an axis. The closer 2 elements are on the map, the more alike they are. And there'll be an equal number of positive and negative attributes. Again, on our website at viralsolutions.net, in the article Market Positioning Part 2, we have such a map example. That source came from brandingstrategyinsider.com in a September 2009 article about brand positioning and perceptual maps. Okay? What they did is they took two brands, each brand being a different color, and then mapped out what was important, what was a strength, what was a weakness. In that example, you will see that the perceptual map includes multiple brand attributes for two competing brands. This map will help you get a clearer picture of your market and visually see how you fare against competitors as it relates to product and brand attributes. What about the benefit ladder? We need to determine which rung you're positioned at. The benefit ladder technique is another visual tool to help you find relationships between your brand attributes and product features and identify the benefits customers can expect. This ladder typically has 4 rungs. The first rung is usually your product features. The second one is your product benefits. The third is how does the customer benefit. The fourth has to do with the emotional benefits. Again, on our website at viralsolutions.net, Marketing Position Part 2, you will find such a benefit ladder visual aid. This was put out by involve.net in their article titled, "What is the Value Ladder?" The goal with the benefits ladder is to get as high up on the ladder as you can. The higher you go, the more powerful your positioning. You won't hit the 4th rung overnight. That 4th rung being how the customer ultimately feels about the benefit and the reward by being loyal to your brand. That's utopia. You may not always hit the top rung because not every product elicits a strong emotional benefit. Now, here's the one thing to keep in mind. Companies new to marketing highlight product features without realizing the true benefit they provide to a customer, and that cripples an otherwise effective market positioning strategy because it doesn't define the deep needs of the target. People don't buy art just to hang it on their walls. That's a product feature, having decor on your walls, but it doesn't define the real benefit. The thing is that art lovers aren't really buying art. They're buying prestige, elevated status, feeling warm and fuzzy. Makes them light up every time they look at the art pieces. That's why they buy art. The deeper you understand how your productivity and your product offering truly benefits your customers and makes them feel, the higher up you go on the ladder. The more powerful your positioning, that'll allow you to captivate your audience and outperform your competition. Now, what if you're still at the bottom of the ladder? That bottom of the ladder is, he simply has product attributes. What's tangible about them? How's it function? All that type of stuff. Don't worry. If you're sitting at the bottom of the ladder, you got no room to go but up. You may not have clearly defined your product's benefits. So do some market research. Dig deeper into the hearts and minds of your customers. Call them up and ask them. Talk to the people that know your customer better than anybody else. Then make your positioning powerful enough to bring more of what you offer to market. Now, how do you articulate your position? So we figured out where in our market we can position ourselves against our competition, and we've clearly defined where we sit on the benefits ladder. So what's next? Well, if you're satisfied with where you are now, it's time to get the message out. Here's some areas where you can communicate your message so you can effectively articulate your position in the marketplace. Communicate your company's purpose. Why do you exist? What's the reason for your business? Why are you driven to do what you do? Your company's purpose is a heart-centered statement that puts yourself in the minds of your customers and feels the heartbeat of what they desire. This doesn't suggest, however, that your company purpose should be to save the world. It's important to hone in on something specific. Pull from your culture. Pull from your strategy before you communicate your purpose statement. We love Mark Ritson. He's with marketingweek.com. And in an article, he was quoted as saying, somewhere between the commodifying monochrome of physical and mental availability and the aching, cool, belief-based world of inspiring communities to be great is the middle path. A path we can call differentiated brand image. So somewhere between all the, hey, we're a company and we got great products, to, oh, aren't we cool, man? Come join our culture. Somewhere in between there is a very good differentiated brand image. Love Mark Ritson. To successfully position your company, communicate your brand purpose on your website and let it inform all your online and offline communication so that it becomes a part of your company persona. You need some inspiration? Great. Here's some company purpose examples that were reported by the Harvard Business Review. Company called ing.com. Empowering people to stay a step ahead in life and in business. How about Kellogg? Nourishing families so they can flourish and thrive. How about IAG.com? To help people manage risk and recover from the hardship of unexpected loss. Ooh, powerful. It's also important to communicate your purpose to your employees so they're representing your company in a way that aligns with your positioning goals. Here are more ways you can articulate your positioning. A value proposition. That's what makes you attractive to customers. It's your main selling point. What about your core values? Your core values represent your company's highest priorities or beliefs. This is the foundation of your behavior. What about your brand DNA? That refers to your story of your brand and where you come from. It defines your past and your history. And just like everybody else, it helps define why you're headed where you're going. Brand values. Well-defined attributes that reflect your identity, your culture, how you choose to serve your market. Your brand essence. The essence is said to be the heart and soul of your brand. It's North Star. It's that one core attribute based on emotions that defines your nature and separates you from your competition. One main purpose behind communicating these attributes is to carve out a unique niche in a crowded marketplace. For example, maybe you sell shoes just like millions of other competitors in your space, but only you will possess your unique brand characteristics that can make you stand out from the crowd and attract the customers who believe in your brand and what you stand for. Maybe you donate shoes every time somebody buys a pair. Sound familiar? Oh, wait a minute. That's a brand called Tom's. Buy one, donate a pair to another cause. Maybe you're known for free shipping and returns on shoes and a 365-day return policy. Sound familiar? That's Zappos. Defining and communicating these brand elements are key to making your positioning as powerful as it can be. How to tighten up your positioning to make it memorable. There's no sense in doing all this work to nail your positioning if no one will remember what you're talking about. The key to success here is to make your positioning memorable and your communication easy enough to grasp and understand, so your customers also share with others. Here's some tips. One positioning approach isn't enough. Don't be greedy. More is not better. Focusing on more than one positioning approach just confuses customers. Fewer attributes, more success. It can be really tempting to want to communicate all 50 of your brand and product attributes, but that's a recipe for disaster. Think of one of your favorite products. How many key benefits can you mention? I bet you can't list 25. I bet it's more like 3 or 4. Keep it simple. Fewer words, less is more. What do you know Nike for? Just do it. Imagine if Nike's slogan was, just do it, we know you can, we believe in you and you got this. Oh, geez, just do it. You'd never remember anything else. It's not catchy. It's not memorable. Positioning is about getting into the minds of your customers and staying there. If you communicate too many words, they won't resonate or be remembered. Positioning is not an end in itself. You know, we wish we could tell you that once you nail your positioning, you can wrap it up and go home and never thinking about it again. And unfortunately, that's just not how it works. Effective positioning, not an end in itself. Positioning is simply a gateway to better marketing, being more relevant, showing better advantages over your competition. All of those you need. All of those are great things, but they aren't the end-all be-all, are they? It's just part of your marketing, part of your process. Successful marketing requires not only effective positioning, adjusted over time to meet market shifts, but also the ability to get a bird's eye view of your entire strategy to ensure you are following the right path to victory. Now, if you want a refresher on marketing strategy, come to viralsolutions.net. You'll find articles on market orientation and research, and you'll find articles on marketing segmentation and targeting. They all fit in to marketing positioning. Thanks for listening. This is Viral Solutions. You'll find us at viralsolutions.net, or you can call us at 888-816-1222.